Hey there, toy collector friends and Transformers fans alike. Welcome back to the channel. I'm the Triple TC, and this is Transformers the Movie, Studio Series 86, Issue 31. And it is, of course, the legendary Optimus Prime as he appeared in the Transformers animated movie way back in 1986. Now, I don't know about you, this feels different to me. This feels like a different type of figure, and the reason why is I think because so many people have anticipated this figure, including myself, and already because of the strange release pattern across the world, a lot of people have already seen this figure. So you know, you're kind of like, oh great, here's somebody doing a video about a figure we've seen 50 times, and I get that, so don't think that I don't. But for me, my take on it is slightly different, because I feel like I've lived with this figure longer than I've actually had it, because I've seen it so many times being looked at and scrutinised and discussed and critiqued, etc., etc., that I almost kind of feel like I think I've done this video. Obviously I haven't, but it feels so weird. And the only way I was describing it to someone earlier, and I think it was the best way I described it was, it's when you meet a celebrity or someone that you've routinely seen on the TV, for example, and you're so accustomed to seeing them that, but when you see them in the flesh, there's a weird sort of familiarity with them that is both awkward and it's difficult to manage. And I have a similar sort of feeling, and that probably doesn't make any sense to any of you, but I have a similar sort of feeling with this. I almost feel like I've got Prime fatigue, because I've seen so many people talk about him. But that said, when I've got him in my hands, I totally understand why people have been so pleased and excited and thrilled, because as a figure, he really is excellent. And we'll cut straight to the chase. People don't like the backpack because it's not how it appeared in the cartoon. Well, we won't talk about Studio 86 Megatron then, will we? But the reality is, it's as close as you're probably ever going to get. And we have these bits, I think they were like they were slightly circular, almost torpedo-ish shaped. I'm not saying they were torpedoes, but almost torpedo-ish shapes. So they've replicated it as best they can. And just to sort of hit my usual trope, I'm not displaying this figure backwards. So, you know, in terms of any photography or posing, and by the way, excellent posability. The joints, I'm not getting a sense of ratchets, but I am getting a sense of the posability. I mean, the dynamic posing you can do with this figure is phenomenal. I've done minimal messing with it. I mean, look at even the knees follow round, so there's no cuts, there's no gaps. The very stiff individual parts of the waist skirts are very, very well managed there. There is no, we won't talk about the heels. Not going to do it. But it's a beautiful figure, and it's. I feel like I've watched so many people in anticipation of receiving it, who have received it, talking about it. I mean, again, I'm going to go super close on that head there. It's a fantastic head sculpt. Look at that G1. I mean, it's almost sort of better than G1 because that's the Optimus we know from the cartoons. You know, that's the Optimus we know from the cartoons, and I think that's fantastic to finally have this guy in hand in Studio Series 86 format is, to me, fantastic. I know some people have got really loose smokestacks. Mine are loose, but they're not really loose, and there's a sort of a soft tab that they fit into, but they don't go super loose. But they do give where they need to. So you know, if we wanted to pose it a certain way, they can move to facilitate that. But again, they're not loose, juicy, and going all over the shop. The deco on this is fantastic, in my opinion. I love the way the legs are filled out. You can't see any of the wheels. You know, there's literally no wheels on display in robot mode here. So that's fantastic. And he just feels so good to hold on to. He's just solid and chunky. And I know there's ongoing debates about, well, should commander classes, is it a commander class size? Well, my understanding is Commander class size isn't really so much about the size anymore. It's about the level of complexity, the amount of plastic that's used, etc., etc. And much like Rodimus Prime in the War for Cybertron range, and I'd be fascinated to see well, presumably we will get a Rodimus Prime in the Studio Series range, because we can't not. But whether it'll just be a repaint / retool of that one, I'm assuming it will be, but it'd be interesting to see what they do with it. I hope they sort out the side pipes, but that's another issue. But you are getting the trailer, and again, the trailer is very upscaled from what we've seen previously, and I haven't even opened it yet, so, but I put it over there. We get these blast effects. We get 2 of these. You have to assemble them, and I've done that already, to support the truck mode, doing the blast off thing that it does in the film. So I'm just going to pop these over here by this ledge so I can remember what I have talked about. And you get, of course, his blaster, his photon cannon, and I've already taken the liberty of putting in one of these blast effects. I'm really, really lucky, because my blast effect is really straight and unbent. I know some people have received theirs and they've been a little bit damaged. We've got the lovely fingers here, which are all sort of mostly posable. So if I can just close those off around the gun there, hopefully we can get a nice grip. Optimus, don't let me down now. There we go. Ooh, feels a bit loose. What am I doing wrong? Don't know, maybe nothing. So there we are. We can, you know, angle that slightly. If I see if we can release that. There we go. So we can have released that slightly, because we can get access to that butterfly joint there. If we ever so slightly lift up this panel here, it releases this butterfly joint. Same on both sides. But it just can then give him a bit of a additional dynamic posing around the use of that blaster. So you can get lots of that sort of battle action that we're keen to see in the defense of Autobot City Earth. But I'm just going to pop him back over here for a second. Let's just drop that down so it doesn't inadvertently cause some sort of chaos and mayhem. We also, and we get 2 of those blast effects, which is nice. I'm going to pop that there as well. We know they store away in here. That's not a spoiler. We also get this, the Energon axe, that is, it's in soft-ish plastic, but it's not too soft. It's a little bit, you can see this is a little bit bent, but it's not dramatically bent, and you wouldn't know it from the side. So again, depending on how you use that, it'll either show up or it won't. And we also have Roller and the sort of repair bay machine. As I say, I've not opened the trailer yet. I've literally pulled everything out, plonked him on top of Roller for storage purposes and to show that you can do it. He can also extend whilst on Roller and extend again. This always gave me Zoids. That sounds like I need cream. No, it always gave me sort of a Zoids vibe. I don't know why. But of course it's detachable, and you can just have Roller on his own, and he does of course roll quite freely. For any disbelievers. And this section of course tabs in, I assume, inside the trailer section, which we will look at momentarily. But yeah, I just wanted to spend a bit of time up front just sort of basically saying how much I'll get rid of that so I don't want it to become a thing. How much I've enjoyed my out of the box messing with this figure. It holds positions beautifully. I haven't, and I know mileage will vary on item to item, but I've had no issues whatsoever with handling him. I've not transformed him yet, so I don't know if there'll be issues that side. But to my mind, he is a wonderful, wonderful figure. And one of the key things I'm looking forward to seeing, which I always baffled me in the movies and in the TV series, as a kid, I was just like, well, is this stripe here disappears in the cartoon, and they managed to do that with this figure, and I just think that's incredible. And momentarily we'll take a look at that, but for now I'm just going to pop Optimus down over here so I can pick up the truck. Now, the truck is quite hefty, as you can see. It takes up pretty much the entirety, I'm just going to put it there, of the backdrop. The backdrop is the battle for Autobot City, Earth. Again, I know some people aren't fans of these. I am. I quite like them. I don't use them all the time because you would need to have a ridiculous amount of space for that to be viable. But I am quite happy with the fact that I've got some opportunities to use it, particularly when I'm sort of doing some of these Studio Series videos. So again, the truck, you have these sort of kickstand here that comes down to support the truck. You also have these sections that come out. I've not even looked at the instructions yet. I just know, and then you turn those down to support the weight of the doors. I only know about that because I feel like I've watched 100 people's videos. You probably feel the same way, which is why I'm really impressed that you're actually here. If you are still here. And if you are still here and you haven't yet subscribed to the channel, just while I'm faffing about with this, could I kindly ask you to do so? It's absolutely free. It's no obligation to watch every single video that gets put out, but it would really help me reach my next subscriber milestone, which would be absolutely fantastic. So if you could, that's great. But if not, I'm just glad you're here. But it'd be so wonderful if you could. And if you'd let me know in the comments that you have, I'll also drop a comment to thank you personally for doing so. Now, I don't know how this works because, as I say, I've not looked at the instructions. I've just watched other people doing it. But I think it just untabs, he says. You're all screaming at me because you watched it, but you don't know what you're doing. Yeah, I might wait for the instructions. But we do know that we open this up and we have an awful lot. So no one's probably done this angle before. But we know we've got an awful lot of storage in there for deluxe size cars. Autobots can go in there. That's before we've inserted this and, to an extent, Roller. Although I understand Roller doesn't hold quite as well as he used to. That said, let me just close this up, pop these down again for simplicity's sake. That said, I understand that you can have him pegged in this. So I'm going to do this before I put it in so it's easier to show you. He pegs on, if I've understood correctly, there. It's not going to do it very well here. But imagine it sitting on the base inside here. So it can actually peg in there so that when he's out and about, or if you're storing it all in there and you're moving it around quite a bit, you don't want to keep hearing roll about, you can tab him into that there and that will hold him into place. So that's something I've not seen a lot of people mention. Apologies if you have. I guess we're not watching the same videos, which is fine because, as I say, I'm aware we have had some Optimus Prime saturation. And I was toying whether or not to even bother doing a look at this one, but I just thought, well, I have to, don't I? I can't not. So I'm now going to sort of install this into the trailer, and I'll come back to you and we can have a look at it all opened up. Okay, don't touch that dial. Okay, so I've stood it up into its sort of repair bay mode, but it's upstanding version just because I thought that might be an easier way of looking at it. I, again, haven't looked at the instructions yet. As a side note, the instructions are super, look at that, super thick. They're almost terrifyingly thick. I don't know what the hell is in there that makes it so thick, because I understood his Prime's transformation was relatively straightforward. But anyway, I've done it this way just so that I can show you just sort of how large. I'm going to sort of zoom up and pan up and down rather. I don't know why it's focusing on those. It can focus on Roller. Let's take those out of the equation. Can you focus on Roller now? No. But you can see the interior detailing there. It's very nice. There's no colour, but I suspect a third party may come along with some labels that we can, if we wish to, update it with. This was purely experimental, but I've attached these onto the end of this. They are, of course, removable. I've put Prime's blaster in there and his axe there. I don't know if that's exactly where they're supposed to go. There's also a little sort of hole there. So to my mind, these can also be stored in here. So you pop that on the little tab there, if it'll let me. It is, of course, resisting, because of course it is. but then maybe it's not supposed to go there, so that might be why it's resisting. But I'll try again, because otherwise it looked perfectly like it would fit there. And then I'm not going to force it though, because I don't want to risk any sort of long-term. Yeah, there you go, it fits in there. And there's the same here as well, so I don't think this goes there, but I just put it there for the sake of it. And you've got the claw here, which you can rotate around, and then, you know, nicely fold away under here. And then this is there, but you can fold that down, and then it all clips in nicely, tidies itself away there for when we lock it in back to trailer mode. And of course Prime can come in and receive all the necessary attention he needs in order to be feeling better post Megatronian fights. Yeah, I mean, it is what it is, and it does what it does, so there's nothing in there that's too surprising. Again, I love the interior detailing. I think it's a shame we didn't, for the price point, and as it's a commander class, I kind of think it's a shame we didn't get much in the way of coloration inside there, but I also wonder whether the more paint they put on it, the more it's likely to chip, and the more they're going to hear from us saying the paint chips and this, that and the other, and it's painted plastic and blah blah blah. So I don't know, they're probably in a no-win situation by now with collectors. I don't mind this. We saw it, I think, with the Earthrise trailer. There was nothing going on inside it, and as I say, if you want stuff to go on inside it, I'm pretty sure that we will receive some options from the likes of Toy Hacks, etc., to give us some labels that can make that happen. Again, it's all very straightforward in terms of it all closing up. I'm about to find out that it now won't all close up. Oh, it does. Very nice. Pop. There we go. I've left the side bits out, but I can quickly put those away. They fold up and away, as we know. That folds up and away, as we know. I'll leave that out just so it can stand on there nicely. And again, roller. Nice to have him included, and of course the various blast effects. And as we know, they can be stored away in the secret compartment, very much a la Optimus Prime. But the main event here really has to be Optimus himself. I've heard and seen good things about this transformation. I'm now going to give it a go, and then you can tell, and then I'll tell you what I thought about it. And part of me is looking forward to it. Part of me is really hoping it's as smooth as it appears to be in other people's stories and videos. I will just say, and again, you're probably aware that he does have, let's see if I can actually get them open. I did earlier, just to check that I was correct. Maybe I'll try and force it with a bit of... Don't use the plastic, don't use the plastic. Yeah, they're quite stiff. They are quite stiff. So maybe I'll leave that for a little later. But we do know these swing open, and the matrix is in there in an unpainted chamber. And again, the unpainted chamber is due to the paint probably chipping, etc. And the mechanisms inside needing to be housing the various butterfly clips, etc. So not, and do we really need it? I mean, I suspect somewhere down the line we'll get a dying or dead Optimus Prime Studio Series 86 figure on this mold, probably just this, so maybe just like a leader class, but just this rather than the trailer, etc. I suspect they'll be able to, they might go a bit more to town with the interior, because that's when we saw it. We saw it when he was at death's door. So maybe if we are getting a sort of, I know he didn't die, he didn't turn grey till after he died, but maybe, just maybe, there'll be something else done to that chamber when we get that version of Prime, because they do like giving us traumatizing figures that are, dead. So why would you not capitalize on this mold, given how great it is, and say, yeah, actually let's kill this one off, and then we can go to town with some paint on the interior. Right, so leave him with me. I'm now going to transform him into his alt mode, and we shall be able to see exactly how that plays out, and I'll feed back to you imminently. Don't touch that dial. And here we have Optimus Prime all transformed into his vehicle mode, and I've included straight away the two blast effects that fit and tab in, please don't fall out, just under the front of the cab, for that sort of blast off effect that you get in the movie. Very, very nice touch. I will take them off though, because they're prone to fall. So this took me, so this is Optimus all transformed up, and again he rolls very nicely. He's very, very solid. There's nothing falling apart here. Mine, again, very stiff, so I had a couple of stiffness related issues, mainly with his head. His head is under here, and this should be flush. Okay, that should be flush. But I had real trouble, and I think actually the fact that it's just managed to happen there. My heart just was having palpitations. So maybe that's the easiest way to do it, is just to wait. Because I was thinking this is actually having some knock-on effects in some of the other tabbing images around the figure. But I think some of it is mostly due to the stiffness and newness of the figure. But ultimately, this flatbed, really great. It's really great. The effects on the whether or not you've got them the right way around or not doesn't really make any odds. It's invisible, really. It's an invisible problem. The complete disappearance of the stripe is fantastic, despite having very similar transformation mechanisms to the original toy, which I think is a really nice touch in terms of where the way the arms fold back and in. But yeah, the great use of paneling has taken care of that. A lovely sort of mirrors there. Yes, we've got a bit of a space here, but you know what? I think we can live with that. We can live with that, because this is excellent Optimus Prime. Excellent Optimus Prime. You just can't say anything against it. And of course here we've the sort of faux white with the yellow effects on there that we perceive to be the bumper. Of course is not. All of the frontage here, this is pretty much the backpack. It's some wonderful engineering. If I bring in the trailer, obviously it's not going to fit properly, but we'll see what magic we can manage there. Very little, I imagine. Oh yeah, it kind of fits. So sadly, yeah, the design of the backdrop is such that he won't actually fit there in his trailer mode. It's a little bit short-sighted. But well, I was going to say, you've seen enough people do it by now. The connection is fine. You get plenty of rotatable swivel. There's ample clearance, as you can see there. So in terms of him pulling the trailer, no problems whatsoever. Roller can also pull the trailer. I'll just show you that actually. Roller can also pull the trailer without any problems, which is a nice additional touch. Again, you know what? Everything in this set is top notch. Really, really well done. And as I say, it's weird to finally mess with it, because I feel like I've lived with it for a while due to seeing other people's videos, which is kind of strange. So when I got it, I felt like I already knew him. I'd already done it, which again gave me a little bit of disappointment and apprehension when I tried to transform the head and it wouldn't actually go flush. I am now a bit concerned about transforming him back. But if there are any significant issues, I'll let you know either in the description or I'll do an addendum to the video when I transform him back for some photos for the closing of the video. But all in all, I think that, the three component parts of Optimus, as was always how he was sold in G1, which was the main element, which was Optimus, the mobile command and repair bay, and Roller himself. I think they're giving us an awful lot of love, and I know that it's pricey. It's a considered purchase at Commander class, but you're getting what you pay for. In my opinion, you're getting what you pay for. I think this is a really well done Optimus Prime. I know a lot of people have a lot of love for the Earthrise version, understandably so. Also the Rise of the Beasts version, understandably so. I'm with them on that. I think this is an exceptional version of Optimus Prime. I really do. Especially because you get your roller, you get your fully functional trailer that does everything the original trailer did, except, to be fair, the sort of rocket launch, the sort of spring-loaded release of roller, and the ability for it to come up through the trailer. But that isn't what happened in the movie. So this is movie accuracy detailing, and it works for me. I guess it won't work for everybody, and everyone will have their favourite Optimus Prime, and I'd love to know which one is yours. You can let me know in the comments down below. Also, let me know if you're picking this up. Did you pick it up already? Are you happy with it? Do you think it's incredible? Do you think it's overblown? Do you think it's it doesn't live up to the hype? I was a bit worried that it wouldn't live up to the hype. Again, having seen so many videos about it prior to actually having it, I was a bit worried that it wasn't going to live up to the hype. I feel that it does, and I'm so pleased that it does for all of the obvious reasons. Anyway, thanks for sticking around. I appreciate there's been quite a lot to say and show in this video. You've been a fantastic audience for doing that. I've been the Time Travelling Toy Collector, and this has been Studio Series 86, number 31, from Transformers the Movie. It's Commander Class Optimus Prime, complete with all of his accessories, and he is stunning. I very much look forward to seeing you in a future, or indeed a past video. And again, if you haven't yet, please do subscribe. It really is really helpful and means the world to me. But if not, I just look forward to seeing you again at some point. Just remains for me to say that a thing of beauty, which I think this most definitely is, really is a toy forever. Take care. Bye-bye for now.